it was reported on Monday or Tuesday that Greg Smith Jr. was going to be coming back to Florida after previously announcing he was going to enter the portal. I think Silk announced it on Twitter, then everybody else was posting articles about it. So it seemed nice that you're going to be returning your projected backup safety, a high upside 4-star guy going to his second season. But then, kind of out of nowhere on Thursday, it was reported that he is going to be entering the portal. From what I heard, they gave him like an ultimatum. They told him this was announced Friday morning, I think. They told him by Thursday at like 4 or 5 o'clock, he had to like officially sign his agreement with UF, and he just didn't sign it in time. So they just felt like it was time to move on. Greg Smith is out of the portal. The rumors are Miami going back to Will Harris and that DB unit he has there. It's not the biggest loss in the world. It's not like you're losing a starter here. You're losing a guy that, yes, has high upside. I mean, what is he, like 6'4"? Like, he's a big safety. Didn't see much of him, has good speed, but someone that you could see starting later on in the future. But, you have 2 top 100 recruits at safety coming in. You already have 2 guys you suspect to start or expect to start. You have also Turner, who seems like is with the program. So it's not going to... I would be shocked if us losing Greg Smith is a difference in us winning or losing a game.
Yeah, 100%. From what I had seen here, correct me if I'm wrong, but from the reporting I had seen, it kind of sounded like Greg Smith and Bryce Thornton were sort of the lone holdouts in terms of guys who hadn't agreed to new NIL deals yet. Obviously, they thought they got Greg Smith back in the fold. I mean, I'll be honest with you, like, and this isn't anything personal towards Greg Smith. I'm sure he's talented and could become a very good player, but I was almost glad to see that he was leaving in the sense that those are the kind of like, I think Florida needs more help in the transfer portal. I think someone said it above, like you need defensive tackle help, probably could use another DB help or another help, like more help in the secondary. So, which we're going to get into. So to me, it was almost like these are the kind of losses you've got to take to clear up space to bring in guys who can be more instant impact than Greg Smith would have been this year. Like, it sucks. Again, in a perfect world, would love to have him, could develop into a pretty good player, but talking about a guy who like still probably wouldn't have seen the field a ton this year, barring injury. And I mean, that just gives you an extra spot to work with. It's not a guy that you don't know how to replace. So to me, it was like, when he announced he was going, I was like, okay, fine. And when he said he was coming back, I was like, cool, I guess. I was kind of looking forward to having that roster spot to work with. And then obviously now they do ultimately have that roster spot to work with. So that's kind of where I land on that.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems like we're just going to be making a trade as I have it right here. Zaquan Patterson, he was a top 100 recruit, also a freshman last year for Miami. He played 70 more snaps than Greg Smith did. Got some good playing time at Miami right there. He was a top 100 recruit out of high school. 6 foot, 6'1"-ish, 200 pounds. Top 100 recruit, I already said. I was comparing their PFF grades. Zaquan Patterson was a little bit higher and everything. I mean, you look at it, higher rate out of high school, had more tackles. His PFF grade's a little higher. I mean, really, it seems like you're getting a little bit of an upgrade there when you're going from Zaquan Patterson to Greg Smith Jr. Now, it's not a guarantee Zaquan Patterson does commit to UF. He is expected to visit campus on Wednesday. He was supposed to visit Ole Miss this weekend, but I don't have any word if he actually made that visit or not, which I suspect is a good thing because probably would have heard if he went to Ole Miss.
You would think.
Yeah. Let me check. Ole Miss is like 247. Like, yeah, I don't see anything about it. So he probably didn't make the trip, but that's not some guarantee. I'd expect him to probably come to Florida if we want him. He's from Florida. He's from Hollywood, Florida there. So I think it's a good trade that kind of favors our end. Maybe it just favors the 2 coaches. I mean, Will Harris, from what I heard, he really liked Greg Smith, so he's getting his guy. I mean, we're getting the guy that kind of is a little bit better in everything stat-wise. Now, stats don't tell the whole truth. High school rankings mean nothing when they get to college. But, I mean, things say that Zaquan Patterson is better to this point.
Yeah, played in every game last year, too, I believe. Played in all 13 games. So, a guy who was seeing the field early and often. I mean, how much stock do you want to put in that? With Miami's defensive backs being what they were last year, wasn't a very strong group. So I don't know how much that says about him getting reps as a true freshman there, but I mean, still did it. And so I don't really see how this certainly doesn't seem like a downgrade, and maybe does seem like a bit of a higher ceiling pickup if you can ultimately get him for Florida. I mean, ultimately neither of them really produced a ton last year. So we're all kind of just doing projection and trying to figure out who we think will ultimately be better in the long run. Who knows? But I mean, I think if you do that swap 1-for-1, it's hard to feel like Florida's any worse for the wear after this whole saga.
Yeah, he played in 11 games. He didn't play against us last year, and then he missed some other game. He played in the bowl game. But yeah, I mean, he had a 66.4 defensive grade, 63 tackle, 68 coverage, which is like a couple points higher in like every little category compared to Greg Smith. I mean, Rob brought it up a little bit ago. We need a defensive tackle. I messaged Tyler before the show. Jay Hardy, who was a near top winner recruit, originally went to Auburn out of high school. Transferred after year one, redshirted, didn't really play. Went to Liberty for 3 years, was a pretty good defensive tackle for them. There was talks about him getting a visit to Florida, but it was announced, I guess, like an hour or so ago that he has committed to Auburn, unsurprisingly. I mean, I trust Jamari Lyons is going to be healthy. I mean, he's already playing and everything, so Lyons is healthy. But you probably do still want one more tackle, even a tackle in that room when you look at nose tackle and the backup to Caleb Banks. He would have been a really good get. Joshua Horton from Miami, another guy. He's taking a visit to Georgia. There's been talks about him visiting UF as well. I mean, we'll see what happens there. There's a defensive tackle as well from I'm forgetting who it was right now, but a big time guy, like probably the number one defensive tackle in the country. I know he's taking visits to like Tennessee, Georgia, Texas. I doubt we're really in it for that because we're probably going to have Jamari Lyons. And I mean, Caleb Banks is starting for 99% of teams in the country. So I doubt we really get into his race.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to see Florida go in and get like someone that either injects some talent or experience, or I mean, ideally both, but into the group. Like, I would love to see that. I don't think defensive tackle is in need in the sense that I'm like, outside of Caleb Banks, this is going to be bad, but it's very unproven. It's guys like Lyons. It's guys like Mekhi Boreau, guys who have like only seen sort of limited playing time, if they've seen playing time at all, that, coaching staff seems high on. We're decent recruits. We'll just kind of have to see if they're ready. And that's kind of the risk you run, is if they're not ready, it's a big issue. But I mean, it's really the position opposite Caleb Banks. I think we both feel very good about Caleb Banks. I don't think there's any concerns on that front. So, yeah, I mean, I would say I think in terms of needing a starter, team defensive tackle might be the biggest need still. But I feel like in terms of which position group needs another body, I think it still might be DBs. I think where I think really could use another guy there.
Yeah, I still think the DBs need another body. I mean, Zaquan Patterson seems like he's going to be the guy that fills that role. Haven't really heard anything about any other DBs in the portal. I mean, we know Ole Miss is always a threat in the transfer portal for any recruit you're going after. But if he didn't make that visit, then we probably do get him.